Hi, I'm Mike Smith for FilmBook.com, and this is my audio podcast review of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2, Episode 3, Making Friends and Influencing People, written by Monica Owusu-Breen and directed by Bobby Roth. I've been talking at length in my last few reviews about how S.H.I.E.L.D. has finally settled into being a better, more confident, more well-rounded show, but I think this week's episode, Making Friends and Influencing People, proved another thing as well. This is a show that has a personality. The first season, especially early on, often felt like a corporate-mandated tack-on to the larger Marvel universe. Its most cynical fans saw the show as essentially free advertising for the more major Marvel movies. There wasn't much to make the show stand out among the rest of the shows in the television landscape, other than it being based on a comic book. And now that comic-based shows are the new thing this season, that wouldn't be enough anymore. We got glimpses of the show's personality last season, usually involving John Garrett. My favorite instances probably being the rousing guitar riff of Don't Forget the Reaper in Turn, 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 or Garrett's hilarious death scene in this season's finale. But tonight's opening montage with Simmons getting ready for her day at work, only for the final reveal that she's working for Hydra, all set to the upbeat pop song God Help the Girl by Belle and Sebastian, was cute, funny, and above all, it was charming. I know Joss Whedon doesn't have a ton of involvement with the show. How can he when he's busy, making a damn Avengers movie? But it's stuff like this that perfectly captures his voice and shows that the Dollhouse and Angel alums he's left to run the show know what they're doing. Credited writer Monica Owusu-Breen does a lot of great work in making friends and influencing people, particularly with the characters Fitz and Simmons. These are two characters who we've rarely seen apart before, and now we're seeing them completely separated. We've seen the effect it's had on Fitz's psyche, but it's also giving us a new angle to look at these characters from. These are two people who, up until now, have been defined by their counterpart. The writer's challenge is to make them interesting on their own, and the show has put them each in a position where that's possible. The scene where Fitz discovers Ward is possibly the most nakedly emotional scene in the show's history. His horror at seeing Ward, and then realizing why the secret was kept from him, confronting the trusted confidant who damaged his brain, it was a lot to take in, and Fitz's treatment of the situation, draining Ward's oxygen in his cell and nearly killing him, was deeply unsettling. This episode also gave us our first real look at Dr. Whitehall, and wow, Reed Diamond's having a ball playing this role. All he really does is pace around and spout some evil monologues, but he does so while torturing and brainwashing a woman who appears to be a former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, and he does it with a delicious malice in his voice. When she shows up again at the end, a fully compliant agent of Hydra, it's both terrifying for her, but also worrying for Simmons' future, and her being too deep undercover might end up being the defining event of this season, though we're only 3 episodes in, so maybe I shouldn't make grand statements just yet. But again, what S.H.I.E.L.D. is really excelling at right now are the little character interactions that add flavor to the proceedings. Stuff like Mac and Lance's bet about Skye, May shooting Lance as revenge for last week and Triplet wishing he was the one to do it, or the sort of ingenious recurring element of the episode that is Skye's wristwatch monitoring her heartbeat, which is steady throughout the episode even under the most intense circumstances. Steady, that is, until the final scene of the episode, in which Ward reveals to her that her father is still alive. Skye running out of there and checking her watch to see her heart racing is a really different way to go about that situation than a normal, less fantastical, tech-oriented show wouldn't be able to get away with. It's great to see the show embracing this side of it, and I'm eager to see more of that kind of stuff in the future. Anyway, thank you for listening to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. podcast. I'm Mike Smith. If you're listening to this review on YouTube or Daily Motion, please subscribe to our channel, like, and comment in the video below. If you're listening to this review via our podcast on iTunes, please subscribe to our podcast, rate it, and take a moment to give us a review. For more of my thoughts on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and other films and TV shows, check out my work at FilmBook.com or follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/msmithfilmblog. Hope to see you soon.